gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Griffin, for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate you all being here and listening to your testimony today. It's making me think I should go out and get a new hot water heater because mine clearly is not going to be nearly as efficient as what you all are talking about. I am concerned about some things. The gentleman just brought up the warning label. I do think that we probably need to take a look at that and see if we make sure we had let folks know that it'll go to 50% of efficiency if it's tampered with. And the whole lock and key mechanism concerns me some. I will tell you that when this was a part of a Senate amendment to a House bill, I looked at it, and fortunately the penalties are do not include incarceration for trying to get around the system by doing something to the machine. But it does include a fine penalty, which causes me some concern. It always makes me nervous when we're mandating things. And so I'm trying to figure out, and I know most consumers will just, this is what is available on the market. Something happens, their plumber tells them this is what you need to buy. They'll buy that, or they'll go to the Home Depot and get something off the shelf. But if somebody really wants to have 100 gallons ready whenever they want it, what would keep them from buying 2 50-gallon hot water heaters under this program or this bill?
Thank you for the question. There's nothing that stops a consumer from buying 2 smaller capacity water heaters. There's nothing that prevents them from buying a commercial water heater and putting it into their residence. Let
me ask that question, because I'm trying to find answers, and anytime the government's mandating stuff, it makes me nervous. So if I wanted to buy a commercial hot water heater, this wouldn't be a problem?
No. This relates specifically to residential. This goes back to the DOE ruling, which is specifically for residential.
But I could put a commercial hot water heater into my residence.
My understanding, there's no law that prevents a homeowner from buying a commercial water heater, gas or electric, and putting it into their residence.
Okay. Now, let me ask this, because I know a lot of people will have this question too. I read somewhere that if you have the heat pump type water heater and it's in an area that is normally heated, it may actually cool the air a little bit as well. Is that accurate?
A heat pump water heater will cool and dehumidify the space that it resides in, because it's pulling heat out of that space and putting it into the tank. There are some ducting options that are being developed for heat pump water heaters that would allow them to pull outside air in and expel cool air. So the technology is evolving in that direction, but most of the technology that's on the market today does cool and dehumidify the space that it resides in.
Okay. And so when you say that the unit would cost more, if you had it, say, in the middle of your basement, and you converted the basement, or the house that had a basement converted into a living space, you'd have to spend some more money getting the outside air brought in so that you wouldn't cool your basement where perhaps your daughter has taken up residency. Just saying.
Well, go ahead.
Yes, a good question. In fact, there was a study published just a few weeks ago in the Pacific Northwest looking at this issue. It found that, yes, it does occur. It was relatively rare. As I recall, they found out across a sample of homes with heat pump water heaters in the Northwest, relatively cold. Instead of getting a coefficient performance of 2, when you factor this in, it might be 1.9 or something on average.
Let's translate that into that alleged daughter's bedroom area. How much is the temperature going to drop? Are we talking 1 degree, or are we talking, she's going to notice 10 degrees cooler? Do we know?
I should speak for Minnesota. And we've installed a number of heat pump water heaters in employees' homes just to get a sense of how well they do work. And it's no doubt about it. In Minnesota, every water heater is in a basement, and those basements are conditioned, and we heat those basements. And so to put a heat pump water heater into, I'll call it the furnace room, it's going to cool that furnace room down quite a bit. It's been described as, I can hang dead deer in there now. It's cold. And what it's doing, a heat pump water heater extracts heat from that room. That's what a heat pump does. It extracts heat and puts that heat into the water heater. Think of a refrigerator for a minute. That's extracting heat from inside the refrigerator and putting it into your kitchen. That's a heat pump in action. This is another heat pump. It's going to extract heat from its environment. You need the heat pump manufacturers will tell you need so much area in your furnace room to have a heat pump water heater because it has to extract heat from that space, and it's going to condense it and squeeze it all together and put it into the water heater. So that mechanical room is going to be a little cool. And that might spill over into the family room or the living room down in the basement as well.
All right. I do appreciate it. Thank you all so much for being here. We're all trying to be more efficient, but we want to make sure we balance out all the interests concerned. Thank you so much. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. At this time, I recognize the gentleman from Texas.